All right, welcome back to Keeping Score. I think this is episode 6.
Yeah.
Ron?
Yeah.
Okay, so
2 new.
oh yeah, we got Brendan. We talked about him last episode. He'll be here. We got Ray Stein over here. He'll be in for a couple of segments. Anyway, let's get into the NBA, which not much is going on in the offseason, but I did see that this Pelicans center, Jackson Hayes, was arrested for, I think the police got called to his house because of some, domestic issues. They got a phone call or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know,
I mean, as a
resisting
player.
arrest,
he was resisting arrest?
Oh, okay.
using the N-word, and they were not too happy about that.
Yeah, they're suing him for it.
The NBA or...
No,
They're
the cops.
cops are trying to get the NBA to do stuff to him also for using the N-word.
Is he in trouble? I don't think he's a big name player, so he might be in trouble.
I don't think he'll be in.
I mean, he's a pretty good young player. He's a shot blocker. He's alright.
You think he'll play again?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
100%.
he would definitely play.
I guarantee you plays.
Hold 100%.
Who's the guy on the Trailblazers who was streaming on Twitch and said
Myers Leonard.
Yeah, I
He's
think
on the
it's
Heat.
completely
Yeah.
different.
That's
but
so
Myers
different.
Leonard said
because he's white.
a slur that he's not
And
part. He's not Jewish.
He's not Jewish.
Right. He said a Jewish slur.
Yeah. Jackson Hayes is black.
Yeah. I don't know why they're trying to sue him for it.
Him saying the N-word should have no significance.
Yeah, I feel like
He'll be fine.
yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine. Is Leonard, is he gonna play again or
No,
something?
no.
Okay,
He's done.
Leonard's definitely done.
Well,
no one's gonna sign him. He
it's
got
not
traded and then cut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not. He wasn't like that good anyway. He was just a bench guy.
He made
player.
he had a $10 million contract.
Hayes has potential.
Yeah, no, that was just a huge
Yeah,
overpay.
Hayes- he's
that
an
was a
athletic
terrible
freak.
contract. Yeah, no, Hayes is really young, who's already really
Right.
good.
So
He's
Hayes
not really good.
He's
Solid-
already good.
solid
He's
backup
already
center.
good. He has good potential.
Yeah, he's back. Yeah, his potential to be great.
Yeah.
All right, so will probably play again. I think there's not much else going on in the NBA, so we'll just do Gem or Bust, which we've gone. I think this might be the last of the top 10, and it's Davion Mitchell from Baylor to the Kings. I love Davion Mitchell from Baylor. He led them in March Madness, and he was really, really good throughout the year. I think this is a great pick.
I got a hot take.
What?
I don't think he's a gem.
Wow.
I think Mitchell, he's an undersized guard. His shooting stats as a college senior were an outlier to his career. I don't think it translates to the NBA. I do think he'll be a very good on-ball defender. However,
Yeah, he's a great defender.
I don't think he will be a star. He could be a solid role player, but he won't be a star.
It all depends on his offensive game because his defense is ridiculous.
He's very undersized.
There's already clips of him in the G League just locking.
Yeah, in the
up.
summer league, he looked really good.
If you try to take him
Look good in the
one-on-one,
G
it's
League,
not
Summer
happening.
League, but
Yeah.
plenty of other Summer League demons who...
But it also depends
No
on
one's defending
what
like
you
that.
mean by a star, because I think a lot of people would consider Drew Holiday a star.
I was gonna say-
he's
I was
a
gonna say that's
great
my
player
The
to have
difference
on your
between
team.
those two is Drew Holiday is 4 inches
Can shoot.
taller and 30 pounds heavier.
But the difference is,
Well,
the
he
thing
can
is
get
that
it.
Drew Holiday came to the NBA as a lockdown defender, and that's what he was pretty much most of the beginning of his career.
And he
And
developed
now
the
he developed
shot.
his offensive game. Similar to Kawhi. I'm not comparing him to Kawhi, but Kawhi was like that too.
Kawhi,
Drafted
again,
as just a
6'8"
lockdown. Okay, but I'm just saying he was a lockdown defender,
You know, he
and
just
then he
has
had
to
developed his
develop-
offensive
yeah, he
game.
just has to
It's
develop.
easier to develop your offensive game than your defensive game.
I
Yeah,
disagree.
I would say so. If
How
you're a
do you
lockdown
disagree?
defender, that's so valuable.
You can't
feel
change
like
your
defense
body.
is more
You
effort.
can't No, but it's also size and skill and athleticism.
Defense is more effort, but I feel like there's not a lot of great on-ball defenders in the game, and he can be
That's
so
true.
valuable to a lot of teams.
But if you notice, in the NBA, in the playoffs especially, defense gets ramped up so much. And it's like a switch that they can really turn on if they really want to.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
the thing about perimeter defenders is that if a team really wants their best player not guarding them, then you can just get a screen and then they switch and then they get the matchup they want
Yep,
and go to work. That's why Ben Simmons is not the defensive player of the year.
yeah.
I agree.
Because rim protection is just way more valuable.
I mean,
But no.
Gobert should win it every year.
Yeah,
So I'll go.
rim protectors are far more valuable.
The only thing is, if you have a stretch five, you can expose that rim protector.
Well, yeah,
That's
that's
the
yeah.
Clippers did to the Jazz.
But let me just say
Or
this: I
Rockets.
also think it's super stupid that the Kings drafted another guard. I get Davion Mitchell's really good and they couldn't pass on him, but now they have
definitely
Halliburton,
could've
they have Fox, they have Mitchell. Who are they gonna play? What are they?
Yeah,
gonna
that's what I was just about to say. Is that he'll probably come off the bench,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I get that. Yeah, they're not going to start him, Halliburton, and
Right.
and.
But I do-
Fox.
I
and
do
then
like
you
the
throw in
Kings.
Buddy Hield to the picture also.
Well,
you're
Hield's
not
getting
starting-
traded in my opinion.
Hield and
Yeah,
Barnes.
he is.
Where's Fultz?
They're out
Is
of there.
Fultz
They're
there
not-
still?
they're not
Fultz,
making
no,
the
he's
season.
on the Magic.
Barnes is washed. and Hield's gonna get traded.
No, Barnes is
Hield's
still-
overrated too.
Barnes
He
Barnes
can't
is
shoot.
still a
Barnes
solid
is
player.
He can everyone thinks of him as just like a pure shooter, but
He can really
Hield?
shoot.
he misses a lot though. He shoots like
Hield-
15
he
times.
takes
He's
a
a
lot,
game.
but he's-
38% from three.
He's a good shooter.
Hield shoots 38% for three.
It's not that
Something
high.
like that.
Yeah, I know it's like low. It's
Yeah.
lower than you expect. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but
I'm not
he
saying
can
he can't shoot. I'm saying he's just like his numbers are not as good as you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Well, the Kings are also. They might make like a blockbuster trade for Simmons.
Yeah.
So that
The
would get.
Kings?
And then you can play him at 3. So then you can start 2 guards with him.
Yeah. So I'll go Gem for him.
Yeah, I'd go Gem too. But not like
some
superstar.
type of middle ground between Gem and Bust.
Yeah,
I just think
I would
he
say
can
that. I would say that actually.
I can think he can be a solid contributor to your team, but I don't think he's like
Yeah.
some kid that's gonna lead the Kings to a championship.
I mean, it's not
Well,
like he
that's not
led
what you
Baylor
need.
to
That's
a
not what a
champ.
gem is. A gem is like a good player.
Yeah.
A gem isn't.
The Gem is a really
star.
good. It was a really
Yeah.
good pick.
all right.
It's a
solid
good
I'm
pick.
going with Gem
Solid pick.
100%.
There's only
Because-
a few guys who got picked after him who will end up being better.
Yeah, and it's not like he led he led Baylor to the championship, but if without him, Baylor might not win that championship. They might not even get to the
Definitely not.
championship game.
Definitely
not.
So yeah, I'm certainly gonna go Gem. The next one is Zaire Williams, Stanford. I haven't seen much about this guy. Actually, I did see him play, but I don't know that much.
Zaire, that man is a gem. He's
You
got the
seen
size
him?
you want in a wing
Yeah,
scorer.
he's huge.
He's a very high recruit coming out of high school. Didn't have the most outstanding season at Stanford, but I think he's a guy like Josh Christopher where you know that he has the offensive talent. He has sky-high potential, and he's the type of guy who can, if he really reaches that, he went lower than his potential is.
Yeah, I believe he's 6'10".
He's
And
potentially
he
a
can-
very good,
Yeah.
He's a wing.
very good wing
Yeah,
scorer.
and he's like a wing scorer.
He
so.
can compliment John
That's a
Moran, Triple J.
So yeah, it's just another yeah.
Yeah,
Solid
I'm not
pick.
sure how much
So he
time he'll
he
get
went to the
in his first
Grizzlies.
year, though.
The
I
Grizzlies
think he was
have
drafted
so
by like the
much young
Pelicans,
talent.
and the
Yeah.
Grizzlies traded
Grizzlies
for
got to get rid of Dylan Brooks.
I mean, where's he gonna
Yeah,
fit?
yeah,
Because
that-
no,
that was
Brooks
a
is
trade.
so good.
him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Brooks
is
is
so
the
good.
second best player on their team. I think Brooks is better
Well,
than
after-
Jaren Jackson Jr. in my opinion.
I disagree.
Nah, it's close.
But the
That's a
Grizzlies
good-
also
that's a good
sent
pick.
away a really good player.
Yeah,
Valanciunas,
Valanciunas
this
was
offseason,
definitely.
which is so
He was
dumb.
arguably like some people say he was their best player.
No.
Joe
Some people
Val-
do. I
Ja-
see people
Ja's-
saying that.
I mean, like
I think
he's a great
Ja's
player,
better,
but Ja's.
Valanciunas is really underrated.
Valanciunas is good against a team that has a good big, but
Yeah.
if they don't have a big, then he's. Just
I didn't
like-
really love that trade.
You can run
giving
small
I didn't
ball
either.
against
Valanciunas
him.
for
He's
Steven
great.
Adams.
Steven Adams on a massive contract. Doesn't
Yeah,
fit their
that
timeline.
contract is terrible.
It was just a dumb
Well,
trade.
he's not
I should have
old.
traded Valanciunas
He's
anyways.
28.
He's a great player.
Yeah, he's like
He's getting paid a ton of money.
But when
Yeah,
it comes to Zaire Williams, I haven't seen enough as I should have. But
that
I
contract of Steven Adams is a product of
I
Sam
think
Presti's
I think
terrible
Zaire's a project.
GMness.
Okay.
Kind of compare him to Kuminga, where he's got a lot of work to do, but if he gets there, he'll be very good.
He's not at the same level as Kuminga though, is he?
Not. I wouldn't say him like raw talent, or like he's not doesn't have the same build as him.
Was he
But a guy who's a project, but you know that if he gets to where he can get, he'll be very good.
was he a big recruit coming out of high school?
Yes.
He was.
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't know why like guys like, I mean, there's the whole like colleges paying players thing, but like the players who go to like Stanford like out of like the blue,
Well,
like who are
that's-
like big recruits.
Well,
and
Stanford.
yeah, it's just paying.
That's
players.
just
I disagree. I mean,
Dude,
Stanford.
you gotta be a smart
Stanford's
kid.
oh yeah,
Blue-collar
yeah.
school.
Stanford is a
Yeah,
very
Stanford's for
academic.
academics.
You gotta be smart to get in. Like even if you're getting recruited, you have to have like a certain
Very
GPA.
good.
Well, yeah. I mean, I
Not
don't
as
think
high
it's.
as most people that go there.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think
right.
if you're getting an athletic scholarship, it's still you still don't have to be like a super genius. But
You don't,
I mean, the
but-
kid might be like
yeah,
really
but you gotta
smart.
have a high enough GPA.
I mean, it could be like
It's gotta be,
a
like,
parental like influence,
I mean, they
like
have.
that he wants to go
probably
to
gotta be
this
like
school.
3.5.
Well,
or
I
something
think
like
he
that.
went to Sierra Canyon. I'm pretty sure. So he's from that area.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It makes sense, a little bit, but still, I think paying players might have come into effect a little bit.
I mean, it comes into effect with most cases, I believe.
I mean, I think every college pays players, but that's a debate for a
Not
different day.
everyone.
There's not much going on in the MLB. I don't think. I mean, obviously the season's winding down.
Mention Scott Bradhand.
Brad Hand.
Brad
All-star
Hand
review.
Former
is
All-star-
terrible. Like
All-star
but I think it's a
review.
good gamble to take because he's like a good lefty out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
One thing
and-
that's interesting though is
I mean,
if
we
the
already
Mets-
have a gem lefty out of the bullpen.
If the Mets do make it to the playoffs, he's not eligible to play.
Why?
Due to
What's
when
that?
the Blue Jays waived him, he's no playoff eligibility.
So we can only play in the regular season?
Yeah.
I
So
don't
he's
know
there for a
how
month.
that
Never
works.
heard of
That's-
that.
Yeah.
Well, so basically he was like really good at the Nationals, like a shutdown closer.
Yeah.
And then they traded him to
For
Blue
2
Jays
years,
for like
he
a
was-
good amount, like a good value, and he just suddenly
No.
started sucking.
Well, he signed with the Nationals in the offseason.
Yeah, I'm saying he's with the
Oh.
Nationals this whole season,
Yeah. Okay.
and he was really
Because
good.
he must have had like a really bad season to be
And the Nationals
like
were selling.
waived because he was a all-star. He was like an all-star caliber reliever for 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, honestly.
You have to be really, really
also-
bad to like get waived after having those 2 seasons.
Sometimes when you just get traded.
Yeah,
it's
he was
like-
much better on the Nationals this year than he was
Yeah.
on the Blue Jays.
He had like
It's-
a low 3 ERA.
That's
Like
good.
And then
two
Blue
or
Jays, it
something.
skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So it could be a solid pickup for the Mets.
I do like the gamble. Not a lot of lefties in that bullpen.
Yeah, it's
and
really just Loop.
yeah, but Loop is also very, very good. But I think it is a good gamble, especially because their bullpen has been very injured, overworked.
You don't want to lean too much on Loop.
Their starting pitching is very, very hurt. So you getting a
Bullpen
guy
help.
who can
You need
bullpen help is going to be good.
But I mean, the Blue Jays and the Mets are two teams that are in tough positions because
Yeah.
the Mets have spent so much money trying to build this team, and then they have all their guys in their prime like they should be winning, and they're just not.
Yeah.
And then the Blue Jays, on the other hand, are super young. They have so much future, but they're just in the toughest division in baseball. I mean, maybe the NL West is a little bit better than the AL East, but
Definitely.
I mean, they're screwed because they're winning games, but even when they win games, they're behind the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Rays, who are all three really good teams.
Yeah. I think, that's not a bad. I think the Mets are,
Solid signing. They got easy schedule for the next 2 weeks.
but they have
Trying to make
a.
run.
How many games back are you?
5.5.
You guys are lucky.
5.5?
They're in the worst division in baseball.
Then people must have lost. We were like
Yeah.
7.
We were 9.5 like
Couple
a
days
week ago. Now
Yeah.
it's 5.5.
Well, we did win.
The
Sweep the
are
doubleheader.
Braves are playing the Dodgers.
in
I
a
mean, let's just say this:
crazy
if the Mets
comeback.
make the wild card game, they're winning. If the Degrom's pitching,
Well, that's
If
another conversation
Syndergaard
we
may
had.
be back by then.
Syndergaard's not going to be a starting pitcher this year.
I think the Mets really need to make
when's
playoffs
Degrom
this
going
year.
to be back? What's his timetable?
He just started throwing like a week ago. He's
Yeah.
probably not going to pitch.
But
this
it's
year.
like who knows? Like one day I'll see that he's like
And he
out for
doesn't
the
have enough
year
time
or
to
out
ramp
for
up.
like put on the 60-day IL, and then the next day I'll see he's like doing super well, and they're pushing for him to
Ahead of
be out
schedule,
super
yeah.
soon.
I mean, is
Yeah.
it a dumb question to say like if a guy's so injury prone or if he doesn't pitch enough, can he be the best pitcher in the world? Like,
Yes.
if you
I
have
mean-
the talent, I'm saying like.
I mean, it's
Obviously, he's the best pitcher in the world when he's healthy, but
He
if
has-
he's never healthy, can he be the best?
I know what
injury
you're
riddle
saying.
season.
You're right.
He's 2 Cy Youngs. He's never been really hurt like that before.
Didn't he have Tommy John like 2 years ago or something like that?
No,
Or he had some
no.
surgery? I think of Syndergaard.
He might have
Syndergaard.
been injured when he came up.
No.
He didn't play in the MLB till he was 25.
Well, that's also because he was.
Not good.
But he's been injured this
Shortstop
whole year
through
though.
college.
Oh, right.
Like even when
That's
he was in
not
his
true.
dominance, he was out. He had like a couple stints on the IL. Like
That's true, but
this season, he's just been injured.
yeah, injury riddled season. I don't think that.
Okay.
He's also
Next year, if he's fully healthy, I won't talk about this. But
he also is I think now it's not like just this year. I think he's gonna be significantly more injury prone like for the rest of his career because he's been putting on like velo every single year. He's like
Whoa.
especially since he's won these Cy Youngs. He's now he's at like he throws the hardest in the league, but he didn't before, and he's been his velocity's been going up, increasing every year, and I think that's very.
I'm not doubting his
Tough on
greatness. Like when he's
Seems like you
pitching,
are.
no
Seems
one
like
can
you are.
hit him. Like no one can hit him. I'm just saying if you don't pitch enough,
Yeah.
then is that even worth? Is it valuable?
I mean,
Well, Mets got on a very good contract too, so it's not
Yeah.
like.
I mean, any team. I mean, when he's playing, I think you could say he's better than Trout, more valuable than Trout.
yeah.
I mean, like because what he
It's
does
also-
when he's pitching is insane.
I mean, yeah, would you still say that Trout's the best fielder in the MLB?
Fielder? What do you mean? Or like
best
position player?
position player.
Yeah,
But he's been injured this entire season.
yeah,
So
definitely.
what's your point?
But I can also, if you wanted to say that Trout is not because he's always injured, I wouldn't.
But he's not always injured.
I could see what you're saying. He is. He was injured last year. He's been injured a lot. He didn't play last year. He opted out last year.
Really?
Yeah,
I
pretty
didn't
sure.
know.
And then
Yeah. Well,
did he?
Who?
it's also
No, maybe he didn't.
um,
Maybe he didn't. I don't know. But he is injured a lot though. He's definitely been injured throughout his career a good amount.
And a lot of people don't realize this. This happens a lot in the MLB with like because of minor leagues and call ups and call downs and how people like can be good one year and not good one year. People don't realize that DeGrom's like pushing 34. Like he's getting kind of old.
But at the same time, there's a difference between DeGrom and the other pitchers because most MLB pitchers have been throwing a ton of innings since they were like 13 years
And
old.
he just got injured.
DeGrom hasn't been
He's a shortstop.
DeGrom was a transformed from a shortstop, so his arm isn't nearly as taxed as other
Yeah.
top pitchers in the MLB.
I mean, it's like I feel like it's not like it shouldn't be very healthy to. It can't be that healthy to like pitch every 4 days and be throwing 94-mile-an-hour slider and 102-mile-an-hour fastball, like 100 pitches a game. It's like really like.
You never reach.
I mean, I know Nolan Ryan's a different breed, but he did that. Like he was throwing like 98 when he was like 38. So he played till he was like 43 or something like that. So DeGrom could do that.
Yeah, but yeah, as you said, he technically has like a little bit of a fresher
his arm's a lot younger,
than most of these other pitchers, and he's also the greatest pitcher in the world, and has been for many years. So,
I'd say many years.
For
Kershaw
years.
was much better throughout
the last 3 years.
I think DeGrom's prime is better than Kershaw's prime.
Yeah, maybe, but DeGrom's
the
in
last
prime
3
right now.
years.
I'm saying
DeGrom's been the best pitcher in the league.
Last 4 years.
4 years.
When did he win his first Cy Young?
2018, 19, and then
I think that's when
2020 was the
being the
60-game season.
Okay,
all right.
Like Scherzer and Kershaw were both really good.
Another thing in baseball, the Little League World Series happened.
It's over now?
It was
Michigan won, right?
Pretty fun tournament to watch. Michigan won. Came down to they played 6 innings. It came down to the 6th inning, bases loaded, 5-2 game, and it was like a deep fly out.
Yeah, pop out.
Yeah, it was super.
Fun to watch.
It was a fun championship to watch. So yeah, Michigan wins 5-2.
Also, the biggest headline from that I think was that kid from South Dakota or something.
Gavin Weir
Threw 6
a no-hitter.
Yeah. Michigan Michigan or Ohio, whoever beat them, caught them when he wasn't pitching. So.
Got it. Yeah, I think that's the only way you could beat them. I mean, he's like a lefty throwing 75 or something like that.
Yeah. And there was
dirty slurve.
I'm not sure if it was Michigan, but there was that one catcher who was hitting a home run every. At bat,
the lefty.
He had a home run
slugger.
every game. Yeah.
Lefty catcher?
Wasn't
that his coach? No, he hits lefty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't Japan Japan normally has a team in the
international teams?
Yeah, that's what I was about. Yeah.
But yeah, it's always Japan or South Korea.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I mean, America doesn't really is not
I mean, Hawaii won a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean, Hawaii was pretty
it's
good
always
this year.
I'm saying for the international.
They're normally really good.
This is always a USA team versus international team. So
The international teams are always really good.
I mean, international players dominate the league as they dominate most leagues, but okay, that's enough for baseball, I think. Let's move into the NFL, which a lot has happened. The preseason ended, only 3 preseason games now because of a 17-game schedule. A lot of starting jobs. Winston over Taysom Hill. He had a great preseason. I think if he didn't have a great preseason, that was Taysom Hill's.
I mean, James Winston, if you take away his interceptions, his stats are
take away his interceptions.
I'm just saying, his throwing stats.
He has all their arm talent in the world.
His touchdowns, his yards and everything
years ago,
are comparable to some of the all-time greats.
A few years ago, he was a top 5 quarterback in fantasy football, and he threw 30 picks. He threw 40 touchdowns and 30 picks.
He had 5K yards a year.
He's just
Bucks.
Yeah.
He's in a great situation. He's got solid O-line. He's got Kamara. He's got Thomas.
Thomas is hurt.
Well,
they have no receivers.
For how long?
Doesn't he want out also?
Thomas is a mess.
I wouldn't be surprised if Thomas doesn't play at all this year.
Yeah,
he did display a great connection with Marquez Callaway in the preseason.
Who, Winston?
Jameis Winston's also just such a funny player. The videos of him going through the tackling machine. He's just such a he's a fun player to watch. And I'm excited.
But I mean, so is Taysom.
Taysom, no, he's not.
Taysom's not a quarterback in my opinion.
He's what?
I don't think he's a good quarterback.
I agree.
He's a great athlete, but.
How big is his contract? Because I always see people talking about it.
No, it's not as big as you think.
Who, Jameis?
Okay, because most of the money isn't guaranteed.
Okay,
that's
true.
Right.
It's bonuses.
But yeah, I mean, you never know with Peyton. What's his name? Sean Payton.
I mean, Taysom Hill's definitely going to see the field.
Yeah.
Some packages.
Yeah. They'll mix it up.
100%.
They'll mix it up.
No matter if he could, he'll see the field. He'll kick returns and he'll play receiver.
They'll figure it out, and they'll figure out how to have a good offense. They have one of the best running backs in the game and a great O-line, pretty young O-line. They'll figure out how to be pretty good. Andy Dalton gets Bears starting job over Justin Fields.
Really?
Hate it.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that's just week one.
I think
just week one.
That's just week one.
That's fine. It's much easier to transition from Fields from Dalton to Fields than it is from Fields to Dalton.
True. Yeah. But Fields played amazing in preseason. Played amazing in college. What was his problem? Why did he drop? Just because he started losing games?
Epilepsy.
Or did he get injured?
He had epilepsy in his...
Really?
Yeah, he has epilepsy.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
I feel like Fields, there's a chance he struggles in Chicago because he's from Georgia. I mean, Ohio's pretty...
How does that have any effect on...
Yeah.
Saying the weather. Seriously. In Soldier Field, it's the coldest stadium in all of football.
I mean... Ohio State, like he played at Ohio State.
Yeah, true.
Ohio and Oregon next to each other.
I guess so.
Yeah, I don't know if that's really the issue here.
I'm not saying that's the issue. I'm just saying in general. I don't know. I think Fields is a great quarterback, and I think.
But I also think the Bears have a pretty good team, like some solid receivers, solid running back now, great defense.
Andy Dalton's not some scrub. He took the Bengals playoffs a few years.
Okay.
Obviously, he's not.
Well, he wasn't some scrub, but he is some scrub now. I mean, last year on the Cowboys, he was not looking
there's a difference between him
not looking good at all.
Mike Lennon.
Well, obviously there's a difference between Mike Lennon and Andy Dalton.
Well, let's not be disrespecting Mike Lennon.
Mike Lennon, he's not the Giants.
He's on my.
The Giants are only carrying 2 quarterbacks.
He's my QB1 in fantasy.
Which is a lot a lot of pressure there on Daniel Jones to not get injured because then Mike Lennon's starting.
All right, Minshew traded to the Eagles and Lawrence starting job for the Jags.
Minshew, I don't think is worth much more than a 6th-round pick. I think he's better than a few starting quarterbacks in the league right now.
I don't think that's...
Didn't Julio get traded for like a 4th-round pick?
He's better than Daniel Jones, in my opinion.
I don't think that's what it is.
If you put their stats side by side over the past 2 years,
Stats on everything.
Minshew is much better than Daniel Jones.
If you watch him play, Daniel Jones, if you watch him play, you'll see that he has a lot of raw talent that if he can really develop, if his pocket awareness can get better, yes.
I mean, this is his last chance, I think.
Yeah, definitely, this is his last year, but I mean, he's also had 20%, 30% of his interceptions last year were off of Evan Ingram's hands.
But also, Minshew was given a pretty decent contract. It's just a salary.
I'm saying his pocket awareness sucks, but if he can improve that, then he's a solid.
He's probably not worth a 6th-round pick, but when you,
I think he's worth more than a 6th-round.
I know I'm saying he's probably not worth a 6th-round pick.
And I don't think the trade makes sense for the Jags either. If T-Law works out, doesn't work out, and you want a guy to go to.
Whole workout.
T-Law, I think they're pretty much relying on T-Law to work out.
I'm aware, but
if they go back to Minshew, it's not like they're.
I think it's a great move for the Eagles too, because you're not 100% on Jalen Hurts right now.
Yeah, you are.
I think you are.
Yeah, you are.
Minshew
played
really good.
I don't think you should be. I think
you want a backup option.
Jalen Hurts.
Hurts is unproven. He had 4 games last year. A few of them were solid, but.
Well, no, a few of them were solid, but Hurts also didn't he have 6 fumbles or something like that? Something crazy.
He wasn't perfect. That's why I think Minshew move was smart for them.
Hurts was not even the starting quarterback in college for a year that he was there.
That's
Tua was there.
Yeah, but still, if you're, I don't know. I think
he still might have been
Matt
better
Jones
than Tua.
wasn't starting quarterback either. Well, now he's starting quarterback.
I'm saying Hurts. Hurts was one, and then he got benched. Jones never got benched. When he was available, once he started, he never stopped.
Yeah, but then he was
and then Hurts went to Oklahoma.
Yeah, he went to
But
Oklahoma.
Hurts is also in a tough position.
It's better than Tua.
A tough situation.
Also, Mac Jones never got benched, but benched for who?
The Eagles are gonna.
Tua was a really it made sense that they went to Tua. Who was Mac Jones? Who was behind Mac Jones that he would have gotten benched for?
Bryce Young.
I don't know.
Bryce Young, but he was a true freshman.
Every quarterback on that.
Same thing for
Smokes,
Tua.
that's a bad take because every quarterback behind Mac Jones is definitely a 5-star.
Bryce Young.
Alabama is
Right.
I don't care who you are. If you're on Alabama,
but Bryce Young wasn't even the man.
You are a beast in high school.
Well, Mac Jones was actually.
I thought it was Talia.
Who?
Or was he already on Maryland
last year? Bryce Young. He was on Maryland last year.
Okay.
Bryce Young.
Yeah, he went to Maryland when Bryce Young came, right? Because he was like, I got no chance.
Yeah. Tua's out of there.
Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. Lawrence, obviously the Jaguars job.
Value comes into effect.
No, but the Minshew thing is he was given a legit contract, and it's obviously a salary dump. It's not like his.
Is it a salary dump?
No, it's not.
You don't give a
getting
6th-round
value
pick.
For someone you're not going to use.
It's the 6th-round pick is not value. It's a salary dump. I'm telling you.
Well, I'm telling you that the reason he was traded for a 6th-round pick is because when you think it's like value.
Yeah. Did he get an extension?
I assume so.
The Eagles knew that the Jaguars weren't going to use Minshew. So if you're not going to use this guy, then why should you get value for him?
That's what's happening with Ben Simmons right now. Because now that they know he wants out and he's not coming to training camp, his value is so much down.
Exactly. Same with that's what happened with Julio Jones. Julio Jones was a 4th-round pick.
That was a salary dump.
Okay, it was partly a salary dump, but it was also his talent is insane. He's a great receiver still. He's a top 5 receiver.
His talent is insane, but his value.
One of the main reasons he was traded for not much is because they knew he wasn't going to play.
They wanted
he wasn't going to play for the Falcons.
Julio's talent is great, but his value isn't. Because he's injury prone, he's old,
and he still has more value than a 4th-round pick.
Contract.
He still has more value than a 4th-round pick.
I bet that was just the best thing they got.
Yes, because they knew that he wasn't going to play for the Falcons. He was going to hold out. Yes, it was like a
No,
fourth round
it
pick
wasn't
and, like,
that.
a conditional
It
six.
wasn't that. He would have played for the Falcons. It wasn't
I
about.
don't think he would have.
He
I
would
don't
have
think
for the
he was
money.
going to.
It wasn't
But
about.
they didn't want to pay him.
No, it wasn't about like him. It was about them clearing money because they're in a full rebuild and they have nobody on their team.
I'm honestly confident that's
They're
not
not
true.
even in full
They have
rebuild
really, Matt Ryan and Ridley,
Ryan's
they could
still
make the
QB.
playoffs this year.
No,
They're
they
a
can't.
sleeper.
No, they
for-
couldn't. They have no defense, no secondary.
That's because they're injured.
No,
If they're
young.
their healthy secondary is good, right?
It's because they're
No.
they're
They
just
lost
young
Logan Ryan.
and like.
Well, who do they pick this year again? The Pitts.
Yeah, right.
That'll be a good offense.
I mean, the offense
Decent.
will be good.
No
That was never
line.
the question.
No offensive line.
I don't trust their run game either.
Yeah. No running back.
I mean,
no offensive line.
the reason they're putting up these crazy
Gurley's
offensive
not there
numbers
anymore,
is
right?
because they're playing from
He's
behind
not
the
good.
entire game.
Gurley could still be a good running back in the NFL.
No, he
No, he
cannot.
Yes, he could.
That's a horrible take.
How is that a horrible
He's
take?
not good
I think
anymore.
He has
I'm not
no
saying. I'm
knees.
not saying. I'm not
He
saying
can't-
he's
he can't
he's
cut.
not. What?
He cannot cut.
Yeah, he has no
He
knees.
can only run straight. I'm so serious.
I mean, he can obviously. I don't know. I think he could still be like, maybe not good, but he could still be a running back in the NFL.
Ito Smith.
Ito Smith.
He got benched by the end of what?
I don't know.
Let's move on to Gem or Bust, which we'll do 3 now because the season's coming up and we'll try to like get through the first round as much as we can. And so Justin Fields in a trade up to the Bears. We talked about him already. I'm gonna go Gem.
Gem.
Yeah.
Who originally had this pick?
Giants.
Yep.
Giants
It was a
made
great
a
trade.
good
It was a
move
great trade back for the Giants.
for both.
I disagree. I don't think Tony
Who
was
was
the
they
right
gonna-
pick at 20.
It's not about the right
but
pick at 20.
it's
It
not
was
about
the
it's a
trade that was good.
And
They
the
also-
first,
The Giants.
and they got a first next year.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you
good
right
trade.
now,
was a good
that
trade.
Bears first could end up being a high pick
It could be a high pick.
because that team is so unpredictable.
Are there like protections in the NFL?
I also.
I
No.
mean,
I
there
don't
might
think
be, but
that trade
not
should have even
first.
been made because I think the Broncos should have picked Justin Fields. I think they're lacking the
Broncos?
They're strong in every position except quarterback. They have
No.
strong defense. They have
What about Teddy Two Gloves?
Offensive line,
Teddy Two Glove. I mean, he's
wide
a
receivers,
mediocre quarterback.
running back.
Yeah, no,
They
he's
have-
like the
they need
depth.
They have
everything
Melvin
on
Gordon,
offense.
Javonte Williams, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, KJ Hamler.
Okay,
Noah Fant. They have a solid offensive line.
They
we
got
have-
young.
we
They have
have-
young receivers.
Young talent. Why would you not pick Justin Fields? You already have Bryce Callahan and Kyle Fuller in the secondary. Patrick Surtain's a great player, but he does not fit that team.
I think they just don't. They're not looking for.
They just stacked up.
I
More
think
than-
Yeah,
they
they
should've-
just want defense.
Are we
I think
officially
they're-
giving up on Drew Lock?
No, I think Drew Lock
Yeah.
has a lot of talent. but
No, no, I don't think
He's
he does.
he's kind of similar to Daniel Jones.
I disagree.
How?
I think they're both
he's
not
better
good.
than Daniel Jones.
I don't think that. I don't
Raw
think so.
talent wise, no.
Yeah, he is.
I
They
don't
both
think
have
so.
great arm talent, and Daniel
No, they
Jones
don't.
is a
No,
really
they
good
don't.
athlete.
Lock has a better
They
arm.
both have shown.
Daniel Jones' long ball is like last year he had the highest completion percentage of passes over
It doesn't
20 yards.
matter. He's terrible decision maker and throws a lot of interceptions.
His
turns the
decisions
ball over
got
too
so much better last year. If you actually watch the games, they got so much better.
Okay,
his
but if you
pocket
actually
awareness
watch the
still
stats,
sucks.
his
I look for
turnovers were still
results.
It's because
ridiculously
90% of them are of Evan Engram, dude. Like seriously, there's like 5 interceptions
And
that he had
I
off
assume
Evan
the
Engram,
fumbles-
and he had none in the last 8 games of the
Okay.
season except for one, and it was off Evan Engram.
All right. So we all agree, Gem. Micah Parsons for the Cowboys, great pick. I think probably should have gone
I
earlier.
think he's a gem.
I think totally a gem.
I think maybe some off-field issues that may need to
Definitely
get cleaned up a
off-field
bit.
issues. What
but
happened?
We
There
don't
was
need to go
some
into it.
locker
but-
room issues,
Incidents at
I
Penn
heard
State.
that.
like
Yeah.
bullying or something.
No, I heard of this.
Hazing.
But he'll be a very good player, athletic freak at linebacker. Good pick.
Yeah,
They need that defense.
yeah.
Good
Him and Jeremiah Wusu-Korma are very similar players.
I think those are the 2 best linebackers. I don't know how he fell in the second round.
He had a heart condition coming into the draft.
Oh, right.
I think Michael Parsons.
That's got cleared,
by
I
a
think.
decent amount, but
Rashawn Slater from Northwestern. He goes to the Chargers. The Chargers' offensive line got so much better. The Chargers look really good this year.
That's a gem pick.
Totally a gem
What
pick.
what number
I
did he get
love
picked
him.
again?
13,
Like 13 or something.
12 or 13.
I think the fact that he slipped was like a travesty, and I think
I don't
honestly,
think
for me, in what I watched of film, I think he has a good chance to be better than Sewell.
No way.
Really?
100%, yes.
Sewell's like a freak athlete.
Sewell
Yeah,
struggled.
but Sewell can't. Yeah, but Sewell is not that great in the pass game. Isn't he much better in the
Sewell
run
one with
game?
little arms? Who's the one with the little arms?
He's a guy 50
Sewell has
up from
perfect
Oregon.
everything.
Yeah, I know. Sewell's like
His
the
his
great
pass
fellow.
pro is not as good as the Slater.
Sewell?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Well, Sewell didn't play. I think he struggled because he didn't play last year, and he's just like adjusting because he hasn't played
That could
live
also that's
football.
also probably similar to Jamar Chase. I'm not ready
He
to call
opted
him the
out.
bus yet.
of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys
I'm gonna call Slater. I'm gonna call Slater a gem, but
I'll call Slater a gem. But Jamar Chase, you guys call him a gem or a bust?
We did that a couple of
I was.
I think he's gonna be a gem, but I think he was picked way too early.
Yeah, I think Devontae Smith should have gone way ahead of him. The thing is the Burrow connection.
But also, what are the Bengals doing? Honestly, that was the worst pick in the draft.
It's Joe Burrow's decision. Joe Burrow told him, "I want Jamar Chase."
I don't care. You say.
If your
franchise quarterback
Joe Burrow says I want him instead of an offensive lineman, you're gonna. Take
if he's
him.
like
That's
a
so stupid from everyone.
No.
You take an offensive lineman no matter what. It should have been easy.
If it's like a devastating player, then no. But Jamar Chase was like an actual legit like top 10 pick. If your franchise QB says I want him, and like he's an actual good player, you take him.
Had the greatest
they were probably gonna get a receiver anyway.
Number one receiver.
They were probably gonna get
He's
Smith.
not gonna be able to get the ball out.
I don't think they were gonna get an O
The
lineman
offensive
either
line
way.
is terrible.
Actually, no, they reworked it in the offseason.
Offensive line in like a
They have a decent O line.
Is honestly offensive line in a full is the second most valuable position in the whole entire football
position in the football field.
I think quarterback's more valuable.
I don't think so.
If you have a great O line but no quarterback,
we saw what happened to Pat.
What are you talking about? What about the 49ers?
What?
49ers, yeah.
That's different. They had a great defense. They had like the best defense in the league.
Patrick Mahomes, though.
They grounded.
The 49ers had everything except for a quarterback. Everything. They had great running backs.
Correct.
They had great receivers.
They
had the best tight end in the league
Correct.
at the time. They had a great O-line and an incredible defense.
Correct. When has the Super Bowl caliber team had no offensive line? That team had no QB. It's possible.
They didn't have no QB.
All right, this is
they didn't have no QB. Jimmy G was not that
Let's
bad.
move on.
He was pretty bad. Let's get. Oh, Cam Newton was released. That's another thing for Mac Jones.
Is he gonna get picked up?
Yeah, I think he'll get picked up
by some team. Yeah, probably. Somebody. I don't know.
Who's gonna pick him up?
Let's move on.
Yeah. Actually, no. Let's do soccer first. Juventus. Ronaldo's gone from Juventus. He's going to Man U. Returns. That was his first club. That was a big move. Despite, he is pretty old, but like he's so good. And
Kylian's staying in PSG too.
He's staying at PSG. Well, he's only staying. He doesn't want to stay in PSG.
He's staying until the next transfer window.
Yeah. The transfer deadline closed. On Real Madrid. Real Madrid offered like 180 million, and they said no.
Really?
It was like Real Madrid kept. They offered him 160. They said no. 180. They said no.
Jesus.
Like PSG really wants to keep him, but he does not want to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And Real Madrid really wants him.
Well, what kind of power does he have in this situation?
He has
Mbappe.
Yeah.
I don't think. He's gonna play for PSG, but like he doesn't.
Wait, so is the next transfer window in the season?
I don't know. I think it might be.
I don't know. How this works,
Okay.
but
So they're definitely winning.
I love Mbappe.
PSG.
Yeah.
It's not about them winning. They're
winning
already.
regardless. They're winning regardless.
They're
I don't know
winning
if they're
regardless
gonna
of
win
him.
the Champions League.
Okay, that's true. They're not gonna win. They might not win the Champions League.
They're winning French League.
They didn't win it last year, but they
didn't?
No.
No,
They lost.
It was like a huge upset.
It was crazy. But yeah, they got Messi and Neymar still.
I'm not the biggest soccer fan, but I remember watching the World Cup. I think, from what I saw, Mbappe was the best player in that World Cup. Is he the best player in soccer?
Well, he did you see the Euros?
Yes, I did watch some of the Euros.
They got
but
upset.
they lost in like the first round or second round. Or something.
They lost early because in like the first round, they played Sweden, massive upset. Everybody, all 9 players, he was like the last person to shoot. All 9 players had made their shot and he missed.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's a tough position.
It was like it was actually like a decent shot. It was a great guess by the goalie, but like
he's like a really
that's fine.
fast. He's like a really fast player.
There's
I think
only so much you can do.
Mbappe's like
I really like watching Mbappe.
yeah. Real Madrid obviously. I love Ronaldo going to the Premier League though, because the Premier League is like actually there's a lot of good teams like Chelsea, and Man City won it last year. Man U adding a guy is like I love that. It's gonna make it much more. Actually, 210 that PSG. 210 million. It was 180 million. I think it was like pounds. Okay. 210 million in US dollars.
Wow.
That they declined. Yeah.
Jesus.
Crazy. I think there's nothing else. We've already done. Episode's been pretty long, so let's get into college football. We're back.
Yeah.
It's been long awaited. Week 0 happened this past weekend.
You got Ohio State playing tonight.
Yeah, Illinois beat Nebraska 30-22.
Scott Frost is a joke.
He was so hyped up coming
So
in.
good at UCF.
So much excitement like around his like.
He lost to Artur Satowski. Are you kidding?
It's not. He's in the hot seat. Nebraska was supposed to be really.
They've had their QB Adrian Martinez.
Yeah.
No excuse.
Yeah. So they were the first game of the season. The first point of the season was a safety. It was really. Did you see that? It was really cool. It's a nice kick to the season. The week 1 is stacked.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Let's just do a quick predictions. No scores, just Penn State, Wisconsin. What do you think? That's the 12:00 game.
I got Wisconsin.
I think I'll go Penn State.
I don't trust Penn State after last season.
It's
I
also,
haven't looked too much into them, but I think James Franklin, overrated head coach.
It's also in Wisconsin.
Got my boy Grant
I totally agree. In Wisconsin, I got Wisconsin. Bama, Miami.
I think
Bryce Young for Heisman.
I think
Bama wins.
I think obviously.
I
think
King's still there though, right?
No.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
Yeah, he is there.
I think putting Miami 14 is,
questionable.
14. What did they do last year that they deserve 14?
Yeah, no, they'll be out of there soon.
Indiana ranked this year, and Iowa, those are the two borderline top 25.
I think it's
Big Ten teams. There's always
Michael
a couple of
Penix
those.
and Ty Fryfogle.
Yeah,
That might be
Indiana?
the best quarterback receiver duo in CFB.
I don't know. I don't really like Indiana. I feel like Indiana's always an upset threat,
Well,
but I don't think they're a real legit
I think that duo
contender
itself-
in the Big Ten.
Yeah. They're not going to be a contender, but I would watch them
win the game.
pull
They're
off a huge
certainly an upset threat, but
they
I think
almost-
so is Iowa. It's in Iowa.
I mean, they almost beat Ohio State just by themselves. Fryfogle had 300.
Indiana?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they
they
did
could-
beat
yeah.
Penn State.
Did they-
But Penn State turned out to be really bad.
Yeah, that's true.
So still a good win.
I think Iowa though. So Indiana.
I think I'll go Iowa too.
Yeah. Louisiana, Texas. Louisiana got a ranking this year. It's gonna be fun to see. Texas. They got a new head coach, right?
New head coach. Ellinger's gone. They still got Bijan Robinson though, and I think he's gonna run all over.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Texas is always hyped up. They're always anticipated. Always got to have a good recruiting class.
Always
and
suck.
it seems like in the last decade
They
they've
became a joke.
been very.
I disagree.
They've. I mean, not. That's in the last 5 years. They've been really
Well,
disappointing.
it's a joke that every year they say this is when it changes. This is
Texas
when
is-
we're
Well,
going.
then I don't think they're gonna win this year. No.
Yeah, well, but
No,
I'm
it's
saying
like QB situation
like
right now.
Sam. What was
It was Sam Ellinger. I feel like he was
winning a
he
bowl
was their
game and then
chance.
For,
saying
3 years.
we're back. Yeah, he was
That
their
was fun.
chance. Every
Ellinger
year,
was there for 3
every
years.
year.
Yeah,
Every
he
year
was
we're
the new.
back. We're winning
Yeah,
this
he's
year.
better.
And then 8
So-
and
Then
4.
they lose to Maryland week 1.
9-3.
I am
yeah,
very
exactly.
excited to see a new QB head coach, a new era in
Yeah.
Texas football, and I think they
Especially
in
Sark.
Texas. Louisiana is supposed to be the good non-Power 5 team this year. They're ranked, I think, 23 or something. It's in Texas. I'm gonna go Texas.
I'm gonna go Texas too.
Yeah, I think Texas has a chance, and they also have a chance to be really bad.
Yeah, I think they'll go 7-5.
And then, well, this one's tonight. Ohio State, Minnesota, in Minnesota. That's an upset alert.
Yeah,
A Thursday night
see that.
game.
I don't know how
First
much-
game of week 1.
Yeah, I
really.
love PJ Fleck. Tanner
PJ
Morgan
Fleck
is
is
I
still
love
there.
PJ Fleck.
PJ
Tanner
Fleck is
Morgan's still
awesome.
there.
I'm not sure. I don't think so, and I think the
I don't. CJ Stroud at
receivers
QB
left.
for Ohio State. I don't know about it. Don't know
Yeah,
about it.
Ohio State is
I think he's. I don't know too much.
yeah.
Should have gone Quinn Ewers in my opinion.
I think I am gonna go Ohio State,
Yeah.
but I think Minnesota's
Yeah,
it's
I-
certainly upset
I would
alert.
not be. Yeah, I'm
gonna
gonna
be
go
fun to
Ohio
watch
State
that game.
also. But if Minnesota pulls it off, I would not be
I would not be shocked.
incredibly surprised. Obviously, it'd be shocking, but I'm putting that on upset
Yeah.
alert definitely.
And then the big dog. This happened a few years ago where it was a top 5 matchup to start the year. 3 Clemson, 5 Georgia, in Clemson, or maybe in Charlotte, neutral site.
Yeah, neutral site.
But a
it's
Clemson
still-
home game?
Yeah, Clemson home game basically.
And it's in North Carolina,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Clemson's in South Carolina.
it'll be
but
mostly Clemson.
Yeah.
Is JT Daniels QB1 for Georgia?
I believe so.
Okay,
And-
so it's JT versus DJ.
I think this is another one of those years where Georgia gets the number 1 recruiting class, and everybody thinks they're going to be top 3, top 1, and then they turn out to be top 10.
I got Clemson. They got a young defense that I think is just
dude.
gonna get better. So
I think it's going to be
TJ.
super entertaining, and no Trevor Lawrence for Clemson.
those are Lawrence.
I think I have Georgia actually. You said Clemson?
I said I got Clemson.
I think if it was in Georgia, I would go Georgia.
Neutral site, right?
I think
It is neutral
it's
site.
Still
It
at
still will
Clemson.
probably be.
I'm gonna
Clemson
go
is.
with Clemson, but I think it'll be close again. Would not be surprised if Georgia pulls it off.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very fun game to watch. I mean, a couple years ago when it was Bama, Florida State 1-3, I think Bama won, it was a blowout. I mean, preseason predictions don't really mean much, but these are two teams that are always big dogs, and it's going to be fun to watch. So
yeah, that'll be really fun to watch.
So yeah, that wraps it up. Long episode, but a lot of a lot of big things happening in sports. And we had a couple of new guys that you'll probably maybe see a little bit more on the podcast. And other than that, I think it wraps it up.
Yep.
Nothing to say. All right. Peace.
See you.